Good day, students, scholars, and curious viewers. This is Mr. SKT, otherwise known as the Super Karoshi teacher. In this lesson, we're going to be continuing the laws of exponents that we've been engaging, but I'll go into a little bit further than what grade 8 level would normally do. This is something that the grade 9s typically tend to see. But it's no hard for the grade 8s want to see this as well. This is law number 5, negative exponents. Here I've got a situation of x raised to the exponent negative a. We've seen x to the a like how many times? But we haven't seen x to the we've seen x to the a, yes. But x to the negative a we have not seen yet. What happens in this situation? This is the law in which fractions become involved whether you like it or not. But in short, that x we say it drops down and becomes a denominator, and that negative a becomes a positive a. So think of it as x and negative a over 1. It effectively switches places and the negative becomes a positive. That's basically what happens. So in our next example, you note we have 2 to the negative 3. That 2 drops down, becomes a denominator, and that 3 becomes positive. So you end up with 1 over 2 to the 3. Why 1, you may ask? Well, if there's nothing left over there, if there's nothing left for a numerator, then you insert a 1. And by the way, you can simplify this one further into 1 over 8. Okay, just that. Alright, so there are about 2 finer points that I need to mention with this. And that's, firstly, only the base with the negative exponent actually moves. So in this example, I have a to the negative 2 and b to the normal positive 2. The instruction that you are normally given when it comes to negative roots or negative exponents, is you are required to simplify, leaving your answer with positive exponents. So what you do is that, in this case, only the a with its negative exponent is going to move to the denominator. The b with its positive exponent stays where it is. That's thus giving you a final answer of b squared over a squared. Even here, we have 2 times x to the power of negative 1 times y to the power of negative 3. Both the x and y have negative exponents, and as a result, both the x and the y switch places. Well, when I say switch places, I mean drop down and become denominators. The 2 remains where it is. The next final point to mention is that you can get denominators with negative exponents. What happens in that case? Well, here, I've set up that situation for you. I have here x to the power of negative 3 divided by y to the power of negative 2. So you are already aware that when you have a numerator or normal x to the 3 with a negative exponent, it drops down and becomes a denominator with a positive exponent. But when you have a denominator with a negative exponent, it can't drop down but it goes up. It switches places and becomes a numerator with a positive exponent. So what happens? So they effectively go to the opposite place. They go to the area that then they weren't at, and they become positive. So when you get when you get a to the negative 2 b to the 3, c to the negative 1, all over d to the negative 2, e to the 3, only the ones with negative exponents are going to be moving. So that b to the 3 and that e to the 3, they remain where they were. That a to the 2 is going to come down. That a to the 2 is going to come down. That c to the 1 is going to come down, and that d to the 2 is going to come up. So you're going to get an answer of d to the positive 2 on the numerator. That a is going to come down, making it a to the positive 2, and that c is going to become c to the 1. And if you want, you can just make it a little neater. Put in alphabetical order, as that is what you are required to do. So a squared, c, and e to the 3. And there you have it. There's your final answer there. Now, with that, students, I will supply you a very small exercise in this case. Here, as you can see by the instruction, the exercise is to simplify, leaving your final answer with positive exponents. There we go. So you have it there. This gives you a good opportunity to pause the video if you wish to do it by yourself. If you like to pause so you can do it by yourself, please do so in 3, 2, 1. And with that being said, let us correct this exercise. So the first one, we had k to the negative 5 drops down and becomes k to the positive 5. So your final answer is 1 over k to the positive 5. The next one was 2 times 3 to the negative 2. The 3 to the negative 2 is the only one that is going to drop down and become a denominator. So you end up with 2 times 1 over 3 to the 2. You can put that together, so it becomes 2 over 3 to the 2, and then turn that 3 to the 2 into a 9. So the final answer is 2 over 9. Number 3, we have m to the 3, n to the 2, o to the negative 1, and p to the 4. This o to the negative 1 is the only one that has a negative exponent, and as a result is the only one that swaps its position. So your final answer, the m to the 3, the n to the 2, the p to the 4 remain up on the numerator, but the o to the 1 drops down. Okay. The next one, we had 3 x to the negative 3, y to the 4, all over 5 to the negative 2, z to the 2. The x to the negative 3 and the 5 to the negative 2 are the only ones that move, because they are the only ones with negative exponents. So the 5 to the negative 2 comes up and turns into a 5 to the positive 2. This x to the negative 3 goes down and becomes x to the 3. So you end up with 3 times 5 to the 2, y to the 4, over x to the 3, z to the 2. And what you can do, these two can be simplified. You got 5 to the 2, that is 25. 3 times 25 gives you 75, y to the 4, over x to the 3, z to the 2. And then finally, we have number 5, f to the 3, g to the negative 2, and h to the 4, all in a bracket, being raised to the power of negative 5. This is testing your law number 3, when you raise something by a power. Well, if you remember, just remember that this exponent multiplies by the exponent of every other thing in the bracket. So you end up with f to the 3 times negative 5, which gives you negative 15. g to the negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10, and h to the 4 times negative 5 gives you negative 20. But you can't stop there. Because remember, the instruction tells you, here it is. The instruction tells you leave your answer with positive exponents. So you can't stop there. So that's F and H, they both drop down and become positive exponents. And that's essentially this lesson on laws of exponents dealing with negative powers. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps it get towards trending. Also share and subscribe to increase my chance of monetization. And please comment on what you want me to cover in the future. It leaves me not spoiled for choice and really gives me direction. With that being said, have a nice day.